I'm Margaret Aymer. The stewardship of privilege has become a conversation that we're having today, particularly in light of some of the violence that's going on in society. White privilege, straight privilege, privilege of folks who have different levels of societal power have become a conversation. And those of us in the Christian church who think about questions of stewardship, how to tend to the gifts of God, have been talking a little bit about whether or not and how we steward privilege. I would like to shift that conversation. I think we shouldn't be stewarding privilege. I think we should be doing stewardship of our incarnations, of the ways in which we have been brought into the world as fully enfleshed human beings, just as Christ comes into the world as a fully enfleshed human being. God, but also fully human, fully cultured, fully languaged, fully embodied, fully human. And so what I propose is that we enter into a four-part process to move from the stewardship of privilege to the stewardship of our incarnation. This requires what Christians have called for generations kenosis, or emptying ourselves of the notion that we should have privilege based on what aspects of our being society values, whether that is the color of our skin, the shape of our hair, the way in which we move, our physical size, whatever biological traits of us society sees as amazing and appropriate and worthy of honor. We get to empty ourselves of the privilege of that so that we can be in communication with, in community with those whose physical being, whose incarnation is not privileged. In addition to that, we want to engage in Ubuntu, the process of saying, I am because you are. Ubuntu is a South African concept that has become a theological concept out of the South African church. It says more than simply the I cannot say to the hand, I have no need of you. It literally says, I cannot be if you are not. I cannot be whole if you are not. A third concept then would be anti-idolatry, to stand against the idolization of our very incarnation. And finally, we move to solidarity, standing together with one another in full humanity, trusting and celebrating the gift of God that has been given to us in our incarnation. So I'm calling the church to a stewardship of incarnation.